Time now for the Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.
There's a lot going on, specifically in Texas, when we're talking about the Republicans. Before we get to the general in November, which a lot of people are obviously wondering, how will Republicans fare? A couple of primary fights. And then a couple of situations that, have grown a little uncomfortable, frankly, until yesterday. Some things have shaken out. Joe Gruters is the chairman of the RNC and has a really big task in front of you this fall. I don't know how you feel about your job, Joe, but I was thinking about you today, and we were saying it somewhat jokingly, but I'm sincere. This is historically a tough gig that you've got coming up this fall. Good morning.
Thank you, Chris. But it's going to be tough, but we have a real chance to defy history because we have the greatest president that's ever lived, and every single day he's fighting for the American people. And I think we just have to get him in front of as many people as possible, and we're doing that every day. So.
To be clear, the RNC is different in that it's not, I think people kind of sometimes blend them together and say, well, Joe Gruters in the RNC, he needs to get those guys on Capitol Hill to do X, Y, Z. The deal is you don't dictate policy. You're trying to help people who are Republicans win re-election, but they got to do the work to get re-elected, and that's on them.
That's exactly right, Chris. We are there. We don't pick the candidates. We let the people pick the candidates. But what we do is we help our candidates win. We have 134 active election integrity lawsuits across the country to make sure that our elections are fair, free, and secure. And we register voters, we get out voters, but we're the president's political arm. We serve to support the president. We're here to support the president's administration and his policies. And like I said, one of the most important things we're doing right now is protecting the vote. But, what you saw on the primaries on Tuesday is exactly what we expected. With the president endorses somebody, he has the golden touch, and they have a fast pass right to first place, and I expect that to continue. But we have one goal at the RNC, and that's to keep the majorities for the president in the midterms. Yeah. Now, there's only been 4 times in the last 150 years that the incumbent party has been successful. So the odds are against us, but we certainly have the ability to defy history this November.
You've also never, well, I shouldn't say never, but it's been, I don't remember politically when an opposition party that's been out of power is as unpopular consistently as the Democrats are. They may have momentum and energy, but every poll suggests they're in the toilet in terms of their policies and popularity. Isn't that what you're seeing?
Well, the only policy that they're for is the fact that they hate the president. And the more successful he is, in which, the first, 13 months in office, he's been spectacular. He's done exactly what he said he was going to do. And, he's shut down the borders. He's stopping the toxic poisons coming across that are killing our kids. He's the president of peace. He's obviously, look what he's done in Venezuela, now Iran, peace through strength, restoring world order and getting rid of these terrible dictators that are bringing terror through the world, reversing these Biden-era economic policies that were making extremely difficult for families to live and, for people to achieve that American dream. This president has done more for the American worker than the last 5 decades of American presidents, and he's done that because he truly cares.
And Joe, here's the question. A lot of people want to know, will the Republicans in the House and the Senate help the guy? I don't think most MAGA voters disagree. The president's wildly popular. It's just there's the sense that the guys in Congress aren't getting it done for him. And again, you don't dictate the terms of what John Thune and Mike Johnson do. We understand that. But I think I've asked you this before. For instance, in Texas, I know you guys would like to get a bloody primary over with because there's a very dangerous candidate in Texas, this Tallarico guy. The president has already said, look, I'm going to endorse soon, and when I do, I need this primary to be over because we got to train our sights on saving this seat. Having said all that, Ken Paxton came out yesterday and said, okay, I'll get out of the race. He thinks he knows that Trump is about to endorse Cornyn, the incumbent. Paxton said, I'll get out as long as you guys pass the SAVE Act in the Senate. And I think that's a perfectly reasonable ask by Paxton, frankly.
Yeah, Paxton is was a clever remark, and I don't know where the president's going to go with that. But listen, we need Texas to be successful. We need Talrico as a fraud. He should not be even be mentioned as a real candidate that we have to deal with. But I think both our candidates are good, and I trust and have faith and confidence whatever the president does. But listen, we're battling all fronts. Again, I don't dictate what Johnson and Thune do on a daily basis. Now, I do go over there and encourage them. And when you talk about the SAVE Act, we've been pounding on them to bring that for a vote. Obviously, Johnson.
Now, here's the thing, Joe, can I interrupt you on this? Because here's what I know Thune's up against. If I'm going to be fair and honest to Thune, he's got Murkowski and Collins, maybe, certainly McConnell. They've already said they don't like the SAVE Act. Can he get because as much as I'd like to beat up on Thune for not getting it passed, he does need their help to get it done. What does he do to get the Tillises, the McConnells, these kind of institutionalists that don't seem to want to be helpful? I mean, he can't do much there, can he, if they don't want to help?
No, you're exactly right. And that's the problem. We have some holdouts. But listen, it's the same thing with the redistricting fight, and some of our Republicans. Listen, Texas stepped up and did the right thing immediately. You guys are incredible down there. The system. But look at like Indiana, where they decided to go to bed rather than try to help out. We're in war here, and the only reason why the Democrats didn't break open that filibuster was because Sienna in Arizona, they ran her off. The minute they have the chance, they're going to stack the Supreme Court. They're going to do everything they can to make sure they hold on to power forever. We're not trying to hold on to power with the SAVE Act. We're literally trying to save democracy and trying to say that, only American citizens should vote, and you should be required to provide proof of citizenship, something that 83% of the Americans believe in. The fact that we can't get that done is just so disappointing. But you see, that's why the president's stepping up and endorsing in some of these primaries. And let me look at Louisiana. He's being very aggressive, and if he will not support people that he does not believe will help him move his agenda forward.
Joe Gruder's with us. He's RNC chair. His job is to make sure Republicans maintain control of Congress this fall. Are you worried about the Senate? I think a lot of people have just kind of decided the House is a fait accompli. That's just the way history dictates it. Democrats will take control of the House. But it was always considered safe that Republicans would hold on to the Senate. But now I hear some say, maybe that's not safe. How do you feel about the Senate?
We're going to pick up a seat or two in the Senate. That's my feeling. I think we have super strong candidates with Rogers in Michigan, Sununu in New Hampshire, Georgia's in play. We obviously got to hold races like Whatley. And, listen, Texas, Alaska, Maine, those are all seats that we got to watch and keep an eye on. But we have strong candidates. I think we're in great shape. I think we pick up one or two seats. The House,
some are concerned about. Yeah. Sorry about that. You do? Okay. You think we can win the House?
Yes.
What's the path?
Listen, the path is a normal cycle. We have 60 to 65 competitive seats. Because of redistricting, that's down to 35. We have financial superiority. We have the messaging that the president has delivered to us, which is on individual issues, is wildly popular, and the president's the best showman that's ever lived. And I think when he's ready to barnstorm the country, which he's told me numerous times he's willing to do, I think that, we're going to do things like potentially a midterm convention, other things that haven't been done before, and then use that to then have the president go to these districts and sit in them. And we have much better candidates. The party doesn't pick candidates, but the president has endorsed in a lot of these races that are competitive, and we're picking the right candidates in the right races. So we have fewer races, superior finances, better messaging, better ground operations, and then the best messenger that's ever lived. And with those things, I think we have a real chance to defy history.
I'm going to donate a little helpful labeling down there in Texas, Joe. You can use this free of charge. You ready? Talarico is Beto with a Bible. Beto with a Bible. Use it free of charge. There you go, Joe.
I love it.
Joe Gruters, stay in touch, would you please? Let us know what you see out there, and if there are any alarm bells we need to sound, we'd love to have you back.
Keep on fighting a good fight. Keep on. Texas is a great state. We appreciate you.
All right, that's Joe Gruters, Florida State Senator right now. He's also the RNC chair. Texas is just so important. And I think a lot of people are really freaked out about Tallarico. And if this is a bruising, as I said earlier, a bruising primary battle, Trump knows it. He said, look, I'm going to endorse soon, and when I endorse, I need the other guy to get out. And I think Ken Paxton knows the endorsement for Cornyn is coming, and all he simply said was, I'll get out right now. I'll quit today. Soon. Pass the SAVE Act in the Senate, and I'll get out.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel. Stay informed anytime, anywhere with the Salem News Channel and 9:30 a.m. TheAnswer.com. This has been The Daily Answer, sponsored by Salem Surround on The Answer Now TV.